It was a bright Monday morning, and the lively neighborhood was buzzing with the usual clamor of kids racing to catch the school bus, hawkers peddling their goods, and parents rushing off to work. Among the bustling activity, Jake proudly held a shiny new phone in his hand, the prize of his recent academic victory. "Wow, Jake. You actually got it." Lily gasped, her wide eyes glued to the sleek device. Jake puffed out his chest, grinning from ear to ear. "Told you I'd get it. Mom said if I came first in class, she'd buy me a phone. And here it is." Lily's excitement matched his. "What are you going to do with it?" "Play games. Take pictures." Jake leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "I heard there's way cooler stuff on the internet. Stuff we're not even supposed to see." Lily's smile faltered for a moment, but her curiosity was undeniable. "Like what?" "I don't know yet," Jake said with a mischievous glint in his eye. "But we'll find out." At home, Mom Sarah beamed with pride as she watched Jake fiddle with the phone. "You earned it, Jake," she said, ruffling his hair. "But remember, it's not a toy. Use it wisely." "Of course, Mom," Jake replied, already engrossed in exploring its features. Across the street, Mom Jane sat with Lily at their small dining table, reviewing Lily's homework. "I don't care what Jake gets," Jane said sternly. "You're not getting a phone until you're responsible enough to handle one." "But, Mom, it's not fair. Jake's only a year older than me," Lily protested. Jane's eyes narrowed. "That's exactly why. He's older, and his mother's rules are different from mine. You'll thank me someday." Lily fell silent, but resentment brewed inside her. Why did Jake get to have all the fun? That afternoon, after Jake's mother left for work, Jake and Lily sat in the bedroom, the phone nestled between them. "So, what should we do first?" Jake asked, unlocking the device. Lily hesitated. "What if our moms find out? My mom will kill me if she knows I'm using your phone." Jake smirked. "Relax. We'll be careful. Besides, we're just exploring. No harm in that, right?" With that, Jake opened the browser, and the two friends began their journey into the digital unknown. At first, it was harmless. They watched funny videos, looked up silly questions, and laughed until their sides hurt. But then, an ad popped up, something neither of them fully understood but found oddly fascinating. Jake clicked on it before Lily could protest, and what they saw next left them both wide-eyed and speechless. "Should we keep watching?" Lily whispered, her voice barely audible. Jake hesitated, but his curiosity won. "Just one more," he said, clicking the next video as he touched her softly in her lap. Over the next few days, the phone became their little secret. Every afternoon, when both mothers are out, they'd sneak to the bedroom, hunched over the glowing screen. Their laughter turned into hushed whispers, their innocent play replaced by furtive glances and guilty smiles. At home, Sarah noticed Jake's unusual behavior. He seemed distracted, his once lively chatter replaced by one-word answers. "Are you okay, Jake?" she asked one evening as he pushed his dinner around his plate. "Yeah, Mom. Just tired," he replied, avoiding her gaze. Meanwhile, Jane couldn't shake the feeling that Lily was hiding something. "Why are you so quiet lately?" she asked during their evening walk. "No reason, Mom. Just thinking about school," Lily said, forcing a smile. But both mothers knew something wasn't right. One evening, while tidying up Jake's room, Sarah found the phone hidden under his pillow. Curious, she unlocked it but couldn't find anything. Jake's phone history has always been cleaned after watching the videos. Across the street, Lily's strange behavior pushed Jane to snoop through her bag. Though she didn't find anything incriminating, the seed of suspicion was planted. Something was brewing in the neighborhood, and it was only a matter of time before the truth unraveled. The days passed, and Jake and Lily's secret meetings became more frequent. What began as innocent exploration of the phone turned into something neither of them had anticipated. The inappropriate content they consumed planted ideas that neither child fully understood, but they felt compelled to imitate. One afternoon in the bedroom, Jake and Lily sat closer than ever. They had grown bolder, the thrill of their secretive meetings fueling their curiosity and trust in each other. "What if we try what we saw in the video?" Jake asked hesitantly, his voice barely above a whisper. Lily looked at him, unsure. "But what if something bad happens?" "Nothing will happen," Jake assured her. "We'll just try it once. No one will know." Hesitation melted into nervous agreement, and the two crossed a line they couldn't undo. In the weeks that followed, guilt and confusion consumed them both. Jake avoided his mother more than ever, while Lily struggled to maintain her composure at home. The carefree bond they once shared was replaced by tension and fear of being discovered. One evening, Lily sat at the dinner table, barely touching her food. "Are you feeling sick?" Mom Jane asked, her tone sharp as always. "No, Mom," Lily replied, avoiding eye contact. But deep down, she knew something was wrong. 2 weeks later, Lily couldn't deny it any longer. She missed her period, and panic set in. "Jake," she whispered during one of their secret meetings. I think I'm pregnant." His heart sank. He had heard about these things happening to older kids, but it had never felt so real. He didn't know what to say or do. His mind raced with thoughts of how their lives would change, of the disappointment they would cause, and the consequences they might face. He knew he had to tell her to come look for him tomorrow. It was a decision that weighed heavily on him. That night, as he lay in bed, the room seemed to close in on him. He tossed and turned, unable to sleep, plagued by what-ifs and fear. The thought of losing his friendship with Lily, of his mother's disappointment, and the life growing inside her haunted him. He tried to convince himself that it was just a scare. That she was probably just late. But deep down, he knew it was true. The next day, Lily arrived with a nervous energy that was palpable. Jake took her aside, his voice shaking. "Lily, we need to talk about something important. I've been thinking, and I think we need to do something about the baby. We can't tell anyone. We're too young. We'll figure it out together, okay?" The words tumbled out of his mouth, a jumbled mess of fear and desperation. Lily's eyes widened with horror, and she took a step back. The color drained from her face. She had been scared and confused, but she hadn't thought this far ahead. She hadn't considered what they would do if she really was pregnant. "What do you mean?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Jake swallowed hard, trying to keep his voice steady. "We need to get an abortion. It's the only way. I know it's a big deal, but we can't have a baby now. We're just kids." The room spun around Lily. She felt like she was going to be sick. This wasn't a choice she had ever thought she would have to make, not at their age. She looked at Jake, her eyes filling with tears. "But what about the baby?" she managed to ask. Jake took her hand, trying to reassure her. "It's not a baby yet, Lily. It's just a mistake. We'll get it sorted out, and no one will ever have to know. I promise we'll get through this together." The two of them sat on the floor, holding on to each other for what felt like hours. They were silent, lost in their own thoughts, trying to come to terms with what was happening. The weight of their secret grew heavier by the minute. Lily felt a mix of anger, sadness, and fear. How could they have been so stupid? But she knew that Jake was right. They couldn't tell anyone. They had to deal with this on their own. And so, with a heavy heart, she nodded. "Okay, we'll do it. We'll get an abortion. But promise me we'll never talk about it again. Ever." Jake hugged her tightly, feeling a mix of relief and dread. He didn't know how they were going to pull it off, but he knew he couldn't let Lily go through this alone. He promised to protect her, to help her get through it, and to keep their secret buried forever.